Biblical principles of agriculture, how to lower food prices. Ban pornography and sensual scenes in movies because these kinds of entertainment will result in famine. For in pride is destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine. Tobit chapter 4 verse 13. Famine will exponentially increase the price of food. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold they besieged it, until an ass's head was sold for fourscore pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. 2 Kings chapter 6 verse 25. Do not masturbate, because it will make you lazy. And blessed is the eunuch, which with his hands hath wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against God. For unto him shall be given the special gift of faith, and an inheritance in the temple of the Lord more acceptable to his mind. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 verse 14. I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. And, lo, it was all grown over with thorns, and nettles had covered the face thereof, and the stone wall thereof was broken down. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man. Proverbs chapter 24 verses 30 to 34. Implement a policy of no work, no eat. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 10. Maximize natural resources. Allot all riverside lands for farming. Make water pumps or wells for every household, especially for those who are distant from the rivers. Blessed are ye that sow beside all waters, that send forth thither the feet of the ox and the ass. Isaiah chapter 32 verse 20. Collect rainwater. If ye walk in my statutes, and keep my commandments, and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit, and your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time. And ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. Leviticus chapter 26 verses 3 to 5. Breed oxen. Where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increase is by the strength of the ox. Proverbs chapter 14 verse 4. Promote the greatness and value of agriculture. The people therefore are bound to devote themselves to agriculture and the cultivation of the soil, that by this means they may have a plentiful supply of crops. In this way cultivation of every kind is carried on, and an abundant harvest reaped in the whole of the aforesaid land. Letter of Aristeas chapter 5 verses 9 to 10. Country people, by migrating from the rural districts and settling in the city, brought agriculture into disrepute, and so to prevent them from settling in the city, the king issued orders that they should not stay in it for more than 20 days. Letter of Aristeas chapter 5 verse 13. Encourage citizens to grow their own food. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. Proverbs chapter 6 verses 6 to 8. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. For riches are not forever, and doth a crown endure to every generation? The hay appeareth, and the tender grass showeth itself, and herbs of the mountains are gathered. The lambs are for thy clothing, and the goats are the price of the field. And thou shalt have goat's milk enough for thy food, for the food of thy household, and for the maintenance for thy maidens. Proverbs chapter 27 verses 23 to 27. Every city should be able to supply its own food. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. The food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same. Genesis chapter 41 verse 48.